start now.
Is there anyone here that would like to communicate with us?
Putting a dip in your hip, a glide in your stride. Welcome to the mothership, the home of the travelers of the universe, with shows throughout the week. Everything you want, everything you could need. From the paranormal to the supernatural, from the spiritual to the unknown, from emotions to comedy. You can find us at Facebook, Twitch, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and so much more. This is R.I.F.T Nation Network, the RNN. And now, your featured show. Shall we begin?
I don't know. I thought it was really going to be different this time, and it is. I don't know, man. We're dying. Hey, you got a point there. This is so take it back. You actually got 3 points there. All right, anyway. Okay, where do you get that glow? I don't know. I might be able to make it through.
Good morning, travelers, and those like welcome to What's Going Down. I am your host, Howie Odell, or otherwise known as the Hitman of social media, the original Hitman of social media. Good morning, everybody. How are you doing? Welcome to the premiere show. We got a little bit to talk about. The show I'm going to talk about prior to, and then we'll jump into the different little things that are going on. The show will get more and more in depth as it continues. We'll see if it's a Wednesday or not. This is a test show to see if you guys want to get involved. I want to say good morning. I'm going to take the Hitman shades off so I can see your comments. I'm going to say good morning, Gail. Good morning, Lisa. Good morning, Sandra. Good morning, everybody. If you're there, a hearty good morning to you. Get your coffee, your tea, whatever your beverage of choice may be. Join us, join me. I want to hear from you. This is going to be a different, tired show than we're used to. I'm a little pumped this morning, so I'm excited about it. Got a little things going on. So let's talk about this show. Good morning, Miss Raven. I'm a Raven in the house. Good morning. Oh, now if you're a Facebook user, I have a feeling you may be chiming in from the Travelers page. If you are new to the show, please click the hyperlink provided. That will allow Restream to use your Facebook name and or profile. There is some permission thing going on. I want to say 2 things first before we get started. I want to acknowledge that the intro is by Van Halen, produced by Van Halen and Warner Brothers Music. That is documented and used as such, not for benefit, profit, or otherwise. 2, I want to say welcome Traffic Experiment to the Rift Nation. Um, they are providing the new intro to the Orion Effect, and what a great, wonderful group of people over in Europe that reproduce Valra. That's the name of their a compilation, if you will. It is the Doctor Who theme, which of course fits the Orion Effect. I am the man. I got to figure out the pointing. There it is. Um, so thank you to them. All to all the hosts and hostesses of the Rift who are coming and who are already here. Thank you so much for your hard work. Been a lot of crazy things going on. A lot of people are talking about tomorrow and Friday with reasonable understanding. The 21st, 22nd, 23rd. Something is building. But I want to take this time now to say thank you for being here. If something dramatic really does happen, I'm trying not to get into my spiritual time lord head about this because I feel humanity. I feel sadness and anger and frustration. Thank you. I want to say for those who have supported me in this network and all of our great hosts and hosts of the years, a great big thank you. I also want to make sure you understand I love you. I sincerely love every single one of you. You may not love me, and that's okay. But I want to say I love you. And in case the chance is not given, I'm taking this opportunity to do so. A lot of crazy news. Let's jump into it, shall we? Getting a little bit, if you will. And Facebook user, I want to say good morning. I have maybe that was Erie. I don't know. That's a good question. I'm going to pop over there real quick, you guys. Bear with me one second. I want to go look and see if that was in the travelers page because for some reason we're having problems with the speech. Oh, it was Linda. Hello. Good morning, Linda. Good morning. Good morning. That's really odd because Gail's coming through on the travelers page, but Linda did not. And she's a top contributor. Let's read that out. Gail says the empath in me is going bonkers with everything I feel from stuff. Yeah, absolutely. I'm absorbing it, and the problem is with this, Gail, is we're absorbing so much we can't even get rid of what we're absorbing fast enough. That is a very big problem. Um, Keith just messaged me. Thank you. I share the link out as often as I can on my page. Thank you, brother. Thank you, and I appreciate that. Um, Absolutely, bro. I will fix that later. Yeah, I'm not sure if it's a fixable thing, Susan. I don't know what's going on. Linda says, I have trouble getting to the live link. I have trouble finding it. I click live chat. Yeah, I don't know what that's going on, Linda. I'm not sure what that's all about. But we're constantly working on this. Susan is amazing on the backgrounds on producing the shows and getting them out. So trust, we'll find the reason. Susan says, I fell energy shifting. Energy shifting is definitely something that's happening. Um, Pardon me, I'm over near the airport. Look, I got trains, planes, and automobiles. What? Um, there's definitely an energy shifting. Good morning to everybody that's just tuning in to what's going down. I am your host, Howie Odell, otherwise known as a social media hitman. There is an energy shift, but there's something more. And I don't know, it's a conspiracy thought. I don't know if it's governmental, if it's emotional, mental, but something's going down. No pun intended. Maybe there is. Uh, but there's definitely something that may be taking place. Ariana, good morning. I think Facebook will show my name now. Yes, I see you perfectly. Thank you. And good morning. Good morning. Oh, my goodness. My sister's in the house. Good morning, Monica. Let me regale here. I learned to shut it out off, but it is strong right now. So that tell me it has to do with the children and women. I would agree with that one. That I would agree with. Monica says, good morning, all, and good morning to you as well. Thank you for joining me on this magnificent morning on this premiere show. I'm so excited to have all of you. I was not expecting to have so many. It makes me happy. Raindrops keep dropping on my head. Oh, I'm sorry. Anyway, a little steampunk thing going on, a little bit there. Oh, wait a minute. Do I feel? Come with me, and I'll share a wonderful world of imagination. All right, we won't go any further than that. So I've got a lot to talk about this morning, if we can get it in, and we'll get it in as we can. If not, then we'll save it for the next show. I'll update the information. Let's talk about space, shall we? Let me hear, Monica. You raise a Wawa coffee. I'm throwing something at you. No, no Wawa coffee. Nope. This is a fine dark brew. It's a Jamaican dark brew in my steampunk cup. There is no Wawa today. You are such a hoot. I love you to pieces. Oh, thank you, Miss Elisa. Good morning to you, by the way. Hello. Ariana. Oh, wow. He's singing Willy Wonka. What have I been drinking this morning? Ha ha ha. It's okay. I was singing Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. Must be a morning of comfort songs. I agree. Susan says, love it. Sandra says, massive CME from the sun. Now, we are going to talk about that, not just from the sun. So, if we can get to it, Sandra, well, maybe we'll make that into the second part. Yes, we are going to talk about that. So, thank you for bringing that up. It's very, very true. And welcome to everybody who's new. So, let's jump into some space news. Let's talk about spin launch. How many of you have heard about spin launch? This is an interesting concept. Makes me wonder which direction we're actually going, actually. I wish I could see the ring of fire they all have been talking about, but don't think I will be able to see it in Illinois. I'm not familiar with the ring of fire, so I must go in the ring of fire. I must go check that out. Spin launch. Spin launch. This is an interesting concept. They're using the idea of a slingshot complex to launch space vehicles into our outer atmospheric and spatial issues. The concept is based on compression to fuel. What they're hoping, Gail's like space, yes, yep. They're hoping to lower price of fuel. This is their concept. Now, the interesting part to this is the actual machine. Makes me wonder how close we're getting to sci-fi movies yet. Once again, okay, this machine is not as large, but looks a lot like the emulator from First Contact. It's intriguing to me. It really is intriguing to me how the design is. It's called the A33 Accelerator. And they're hoping to slingshot, taking the idea even back from where we were pre-humans. Pre-existing society, let's put it that way. They're wanting to take the idea of the slingshot rock, where we put a rock in a loop and you swing it around and then fire it. Well, that's that concept of this machine. But I have a feeling, you guys, the Jetsons, right? Right? I have a feeling that this is going to grow into something completely different. Let me jump in here. Wand of fire is an effect on the eclipse. Reply to Sandra Sharp, ring. Yes. Ariana, it's an eclipse coming in October. Interesting. I must, and I'm usually up on eclipses because I love eclipses and meteor showers, etc. So I'll have to check that out. Gail says, the Jetsons. Yeah, a lot like the Jetsons. In fact, we're going to talk about some ufology in here in just a minute, and giving you my insight and my opinion on some of the things going on and getting you guys involved too. Susan hits up with, what if shows and movies are hints of hate to come? Hate to come? Please don't say hate, but I'd hate to say that, but of what is to come? Yes. And actually, we're going to talk about that right now. Throughout the last 10 to 20 years, the sci fi movies, it's okay. The sci-fi movies we've been experiencing, the technology in these movies are actually coming to light. Just like Bob Lazar talked about Area 51. Did I say something? Oh my goodness, I shouldn't have said that. Oh well. Just like Bob Lazar said, and he gave his opinion, his insight, his experiences at the time of his interview. And guess what? They're all coming to light now, including the unknown element. So, yes. And let me point out something that Susan just said as well. Let's look at Transformers, okay? The number two movie. In that movie, whoa, all right. The number two of that movie, actually, we saw something that was supposedly experimental, which is really not experimental. It was created at Dahlgren, Virginia, at the Special Military Weapons Designery. It's called a railgun. That is operational. It is on ships, and they actually let that leak. Supposedly was not supposed to, but maybe they did it on purpose. Interesting. Again, what the hell was that? Anyway, that was weird. Um, again, anyway, yes, they provide these interesting things um, of such different movies. We're seeing different movies of different technologies coming out, and we've seen it for a long period of time. It's evolving. We are seeing sci-fi come to life, and I've said it for a long time now. Um, and actually, Edgar Casey stated the same thing. Sometimes, majority of the time, sci-fi dictates our future. Julius Verne is one of those particular authors who saw it. Let's even go back to Michelangelo and the Da Vinci. There it is. So man, as long as man can imaginate, man can create. Human, we'll say that. We'll go with that. Let me catch up with you guys. Hollywood has been writing the script for a very, very long time. Yes, I agree, Gail. Very good point. Ariana drops in on October 14, 2023. An annular total solar eclipse will be visible to millions across the globe as it sweeps through the skies of the northwestern United States, through Mexico and Central America, and into South America, exciting the content in Brazil. Even if you are not in the path of the annullerator. I'm not going to try to pronounce that this morning, but yes, you will still be able to see a partial solar eclipse if weather conditions are right. This is from the National Aeronautics and Space Administration's blog. Good call, Ariana. Thank you so much for posting that. I appreciate it. I love it when you guys can back up what I'm saying or give more information out there to what is being said and what is being done. Susan says, yep. Monica goes, since the 50s, really, in my opinion, and that's without even looking at it. Well, 50s, yes, but it actually goes a little further back than that. Again, if we look at the books and not the movies, all the movies do are exaggerate what the books are, right? Majority of what we know books are get turned into movies. So there you go. Um, this is a perfect example. So let's talk about ufology real quick. We're going to move away from spin launch because I think you guys may want to pay attention to what they're planning to do with spin launch. I'm just saying. I think there's more to this company and its intent than what you think it may be. Not you, the general, if you will, the general. UFOs, aliens. Let's talk a little bit about that. Um, in my opinion, uh, I think a lot of the technology is man made technology. However, um, a lot of things may be testing, and what we think we're seeing is not at all what it is. Could be our world's government. You like that? World's government. Gail's like, ET, here we go. Um, are actually experimenting with craft, or not just craft. Okay, with generators, um, gravitational generators, new technology. I saw one today as I was doing a little research today of a square box, had a little circle at the bottom of it, looked like it had little feet, kind of looked like a very small mini version of the Borg. um, and once this show gets updated, I'll start integrating these images and videos. We're just getting started. Um, but they were claiming, oh, look, a UFO, etc., etc. Hey, good morning, Jonathan. Good morning, sir. I am well, and I hope the same to you. Cheers. I think that that is man made. I think a lot of the things are man made. Now, let me get you guys' opinions on this. You've been around long enough. You've seen enough videos, reels, or whatever. We've seen drones do unusual things. Now, I bring this up because I've been saying this for a long time, at least for the last maybe 10 years. Hold tight, we're going to do something here. Okay, so I think for the last 10 years, a lot of representation of ufology has actually been drone activity. If drones can make a 50 to 70-foot diorama in the sky, if we see several drones together that are going to perceive in light from our eyes out as one large mass, not separate. And here we go. This is another point. You see these large masses out in the sky, and suddenly one comes and one goes this way and one goes that way. Are we really perceiving what we think we are, or is it something completely different? I think it's something completely different, in my opinion. So be aware of perception of what we think comparatively to what truly is. But it is ironic since 2019, actually 2018 into 2019, technology's boomed again. We've seen an influx in ufology and in the paranormal. We're going to talk about that in just a few minutes. It's very interesting to me. These are the things that intrigue me. I look forward to seeing, in certain ways, what is about to take place. Maybe I'll just keep it on. I'll add to sound effects. Screw it. Um, let's talk Ariana. Actually, back in July 2023, according to CNN, there was a push for more transparency about UFOs. So the government is starting to be more open to it. Hopefully, they will share more with the people if they find out anything. Good morning, Sam. Ariana, good point. That is actually in the notes that is about to come out. We're going to drop that. We're going to move these notes forward because I see which direction y'all want to go, and I'm all about it. Let's do it. Let's talk about that too. Now, before we get into the can't stay, I will watch replay. Sounds great, Mom. I think I appreciate you tuning in. Um, so, yes, there's a lot of news, a lot of change taking place, and a lot of science tech that's going to be taking place. And we're going to jump all into it. Boy, I've got papers going everywhere. It's awesome. Um, I think we need to pay more attention to what the government is doing because we do know that there was a congressional hearing several weeks ago where they kind of spun around like a cat chasing its tail. But some of it they acknowledged as of 4 days ago. 4 days ago. Let's see if I can pull that. Bam! Got it for you. As of 4 days ago, Congress released evidence of alien evidence previously hidden. This is by Voyager. I want to make sure they get noted. Now, this is interesting. Now, I don't want to go too much further because this is going to go into the science, news, etc. of what we're looking at. But I think it is interesting that our government is now supposedly releasing this evidence. Now, what for? Could this be leading into the next 4 days? It's a possibility. We've heard conspiracy theory after conspiracy theory. We've heard truth after truth. We've heard that the government wants to create a fake alien attack to try to pull us all together or use it for control. Maybe become one world government so they can put that into play. There's a lot of conspiracy theories. Unfortunately, there's a lot of evidence that points to the fact this show is not going to be really talking about government, except for when it comes to conspiracy. So I do not want to get into the political side of things, but let's just say the poop is about to hit the fan. Vandenberg. Wait, go check out that song. Anyway, so let's jump out of it. Let's get in some news real quick about what's taking place. Kind of the biggest thing on the hit the last week has been the missing F-35 stealth jet. It's very interesting to me. They released the information and found the wreckage. The plane went lost. Lost? How do you lose $1 billion plane? How? How? You're telling me you can't track an aircraft? Really? Gail says, yes, it is gonna splatter everywhere. And that's a good point. They did find the wreckage all over. But to me, I'm trying to figure out why. Okay. I read a report this morning that stated that the plane had a miscommunication or faulty systems in the cockpit, which led the pilot to have to self eject from the aircraft. Okay, black box tracking. I'm sure we can track our own military aircraft, right? Here's the thing, you guys. Here's that conspiracy theory. Maybe it's true. They are now claiming that the systems were possibly hacked. Wow, that's kind of scary. Our military aircraft, they're going to say has a possibility of being hacked. Uh-oh, we're in trouble. Dun, dun, dun. Just saying. Let me catch up in here, Ariana. NASA calls the American public to help in the hunt for the UFOs. So you see, NASA wants the people to help. LOL. I couldn't blame them for not completely trusting the Congress either. Not getting political, but yeah, just saying. Absolutely. I absolutely agree with you. But seeing that it is a private organization, but is it now? Yeah. NASA has its own little nasty background. It's filled with little dark goo. Trust me. From before the moon launch through. Done a show on it, and maybe I'll do it again. Did a show on called Was the uh, don't like that one. I did a show on if the moon launch was real or not. We talked about it. I'll probably redo that show again too. I thought it was very interesting. Facebook user, I saw something yesterday that I must be Linda. I saw something yesterday that they found the debris field and the pilot who had ejected. Yes, they did find the pilot. He is in critical condition. Now, why is that? Um, he is in the hospital. The wreckage, the debris is everywhere. Uh, they they're having a hard time trying to pull it all together. Supposedly, again, it is interesting, and this is headlining news. So I'm going, wow, okay. To me, I just find it interesting that they couldn't track the aircraft. Too, that they're admitting in some ways that this aircraft could have been hacked. That's kind of spooky, you guys, especially in modern society. Ariana, and the other day I found it funny. The CNN was just now publishing stuff about Mandela effect. Oh, we're gonna talk about that. I got that right here. Mandela effect. And how long have people been talking about Mandela effects? Very good. I love the word you used, effect. Uh, I can't believe they were just now printing news about it. I know. And when it's been going on for so long, it became prevalent. Oh, good word to use. Prevalent back in 2015, 2016. when people actually started to notice the Mandela effect. But it had been going on much earlier than that. Ariana continues with, of course, the news doesn't totally go for it, but well, I wasn't surprised about it either. I think some media outlets are afraid to speak the truth. Of course, there are. I will admit to that. We've seen evidence over the past 2 years, three, since 2019, that the news media itself, even before that, agreed, Gail. Uh, the news media is controlled. They say the exact same thing. They're told to do the same thing. They are told to speak the same way. Yeah, that's why I don't watch the news anymore. I refuse to watch the news. I get broadcasting from public access channels, um, from the internet. I'm not going to say where on the internet or how, but that's where I get my information from. I don't believe in any of these new broadcasters anymore. I think they're just spewing out misinformation. What's the best way to confuse your enemy? Misdirect and give them misinformation. Monica, is this the aircraft Ukraine was asking for, or is this a new aircraft they are testing? No, 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 no. I do believe the Ukrainians were asking for some F 35s. I do believe they were also asking for F 16s and F 15s. I don't know about that. Now, okay, you know what? That's good. Before we jump into the whole other side of this conversation, something brings to my attention. Let me read out, Ariana. I am sorry. I write for the local paper and write the truth and what happens. There you go, girl. And so much, there it is, that when I cover meetings, sometimes board members will look at me and say, don't print that, LOL. I think people have figured me out. There it is. There it is. Speaking the truth, telling the news as it should. I will never let anyone control what I write or cover. Exactly. I am media rebel support. I love that. I got you. I knew what you meant. Yeah, media rebel sport. I knew what you were talking about. Good job. Good job, Ariana. Um, yeah, I find this interesting. Now I'm going to make this comment, then we're going to move forward because I got a lot more to talk about. Get you guys involved because we're going to go back and we're going to talk about aliens and the solar eclipses, etc. in just a second. Do you not find it interesting why the F-35 is out there and we've spent billions of dollars on it, but yet the Air Force is still using F-16s, which can outfly and outmaneuver at times most aircraft in today's society? Intriguing. It's not stealthy, no, but it's highly maneuverable, and yet it's still out there. Hmm. Guess sometimes you still have to have your foundation, right? Look at the F-14. Look how long it stayed. And they even said that the F-14 would still be in service if it wasn't for the new Y, or was it the YF? I'm trying to remember how they announced it. It's another 22, but it's a dual seated Super Tomcat 2. So we'll be seeing that probably in the future. That'll be interesting. So let's get into some science tech, shall we? Before we go any further, y'all guys have any questions, any statements? Let's catch up. Let me let you guys catch up with me before I start going rambling much further. Cheers, by the way. Alrighty then. All right, so let's continue. Jumping into science tech today. Oh, yeah, forgot to do this. We're done with this. Oh, we'll talk about DEWs in just a second, direct energy weapons. That's part of this whole thing, but now we're done with that. Let's move on to this. What's up, Tim? Good morning, sir. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning. So let's talk about science tech. The pole's changing. Now, this is going to have a whole thing about what we were just discussing earlier. Science tech on the pole's changing effects on humans. The poles have been changing and they've been moving at about 365 miles over Canada. It's always on the move. The poles are always on the move. I can't say that again. The poles are always on the move. There is a static and there is another pole that moves. These are proven facts now. The poles have been moving for 150 years. Now, the rate has changed. Here's of late, it has been picked up to a speed of 25 miles per year, moving northwest. We're also going to get into this. We're going to talk about something else that's very interesting. Now, reading the book of Alana Mitchell, The Spinning Magnet, shameless plug, if you will, evidence shows at the time we have had up to 8 magnetic poles at one time. Did you hear what I just said? Not just one, not just two, not just 5, but 8 magnetic poles, positive and negative, north and south at one time. Don't you think that's really going to play havoc on human society as is? You have all of these different poles that are moving around us, electromagnetic forces. Those of you in the paranormal, you know what I'm saying, EMF, how they can affect your mind, it affects your body. Did you know that the poles can actually affect your circulatory system? Yeah. And it's interesting how we've seen the increase in heart attacks, not just with COVID, and not just in the last 3 years, but in the last 10 years. I'm bringing this. These are facts. This isn't something I'm just pulling out of my wixie wax. No, it is not. These are basic, true facts. So let me ask you guys. Let's jump in here. Let's think about this for a second. Could this not affect how humans react and even think? Example, what about the para helmet? How many of you have heard the para helmet? The first design. It's a helmet that actually goes on your head, has several electro nodes that affect your mind. We've seen it on several of these ghost hunting shows, etc., etc. It uses EMF to affect our thought process. Now, I'm not saying yes or no if we're really seeing it or not. It's not what this is about. We do know that EMF affects the human body. So it affects the synapses, which the little ports between here and there that throw the electricity. It affects our electricity. It affects our frequencies. That's the amount of ohms. It affects our ohms in our body. So if these poles are changing, could this be one of those factors? Here we go. Everybody's being so quiet. Oh, come on. I need your input. I want to hear from you. So here's another thing. With the poles shifting, with all of this going on, right? Here we go. Here we go. Could this be what's leading to possible dimensional doors opening up? Could this be changing things happening? Could our thoughts processes in manifesting be creating with this electromagnetic forces an amplifier? Could this be attracting? Could this be attracting? Could this be attracting life from out there? These are the things that I'm going to offer for you all to think about and actually share, if you will. Seeing a human affect moods, emotions, blood circulatory, and even speech and sight. Look. Yes, we spend every day looking at the computer, looking at our cell phone. We spend all day. Good morning, Danielle. Good morning. Cheers to you. We spend all day doing that. Now, it's not good for our eyes. It's not. However, could these forces, and not just electromagnetic forces, but amps and frequencies throughout our planet that our planet is giving off because it's going through change, is this what's affecting us? Manifest the love and kindness. Exactly. This is good morning. This is, I think, we need to do. And thank you, Gail, for saying that. I'm going to pop that up. Okay, because I think this is what we really need. This is really what we as a society need. It- the love, yes. Hurt, love leads to hurt, hurt leads to love. We've heard all that before, but we really need to focus on positiveness, on the things and people, and learn to forgive the things that are going on. Um, Jim, with electricity, an electrician or a truck mechanic can confirm that bad circuits can give you an enlightening experience. Oh, oh, I like that. I like that. Monica, I don't know if you believe in the planetary grid and the past and what may have happened with pyramids, etc., then I don't doubt anything is possible. Well said on that as well. Yes. Oh, yes. Our past may dictate our future. Maybe that's why I keep hearing that. I keep hearing that. I've been hearing that for the last 2 years. Well said. The future is in the past. I've been hearing that a lot. Um, actually gravitated towards that song by Chickenfoot, shameless plug, a band put together by Sammy Hagar. Um, it's on the last, it's on the first album, last song, Futures in the Past. And it could be, and I agree. If we look at the patterns, maybe we're about to repeat the exact same patterns of our past. Is it going to affect us? Uh-oh. Are we going to lose our minds and destroy each other? These are all scary thoughts, man. Ariana, manifesting love and kindness would be wonderful, but I feel that COVID sped up, sorry, negativity somehow in people's emotions. Yep, that's in our psychological part. If we get to it today, that is exactly right. Psychology information there. I agree. So many people are easily offended these days. In the last 3 years, something has changed, and it hasn't for the good. We have our work set out for us. If more people could believe in unity and love, it could be done. But we need many people on board on it. And people need to stop getting so offended all the time. The offense, I think, comes from our own self issues. We're going to get into that psychological in just a second. Um, Gail, why do planes fly over me every dang time I'm watching and researching? Two since the show started. Next will be the helicopter. Well, I live near an airport, so I can't say anything. I'd be biased on that one. But I feel your pain on that. The fear factor. The fear factor. Yeah. Reply to Terry and I agree. I have a whole tribe. And yeah, we really do. And you know what? It's not, a lot of us have been hurt by other people in the past, and we're still holding on to it. There's many people holding on to these issues. It's time to release and let go. Forgive. We're not going to make it if we don't forgive and embrace ourselves and our love for the people who love us. Not everybody's going to love you. Not everybody's going to like you. What do I always say? I don't always wear a white hat. Good people do bad things and bad people do good things. Be aware. You're not going to jive with everybody. Your chemistry doesn't allow it. Your ohms, your frequency in your body are not going to allow it. It's like they're not my tribe. So like, using that word, I I use I use the word differently. I don't use necessarily tribe. I like to use the word pride, but that's a thing. I live in an armpit of the U.S. and there are no airports. Well, that'll tell you something. There you go. That's Gail. She's saying, nope. Why are they here? Girlfriend, just watch yourself. And I would document things. I would start documenting every little thing you experience. So, um, so let's talk about some other things here real quick before we lose time This all can affect us. Whoa, hold on. Let me see. Ariana says, getting offended easily does come from the self psyche. Yes, it does. As people have said, yes, it has become a me society and every man for his own, which is really sad. Really sad. We're no longer a village raising a child. We're now a individual having to protect the child from the villagers. That's not the way it should be. But that's your good point. Um, Something in our atmosphere and environment changed our individual psychology. I think social media has done that too, which changed how we react to situations. There needs to be another change to reverse that effect. We've got to be the ones to make the change. We have got to make the change. We need to stop responding as we have. We need to love self, understand self to help others. We need to let those people out there who wish to be antagonists and triggers because that's how they feed, that's how what they need. We need to let them go. We need to stop feeding their intent. I'm not going to get too much into it, but I agree with you there. Yes, yes. Um, let's get back into this real quick. During a polar flip, at 90% of Earth is affected. Even our gravity is affected. May increase solar shield. Okay, as these energy bands start to twist and move, it actually affects our solar shield too, which means we are. That's funny. Damn plane. Um, as these rotate, as these things take place, our solar shield is being affected too, which means we could see an increase in many viruses, diseases, and human immunity. Cancer is going to increase. We've already seen that. Um, why hasn't we know? Maybe we don't know, but it's been said that there's a cure for cancer. It's just not being done. Nothing done about it. Um, Big hint for a lot of people out there. We all have cancer. Um, I'm not going to jump. I'm not going to say too much into this, but I will say we all have cancer. Some of it just has not been activated. Um, Majority of all of our cancers are affected by the amount of human. Mm, we'll use saliva, but it's actually inside of the body. Sugar levels and sugar types, celandines, etc., in the body system, which activates the cancer. Intriguing. And what have we been eating for hundreds of years? There is a cure, and it is very simple. Gail, I agree with you. I agree with you. So, with these health issues that we're going to see come abroad because the possibility of these solar polar shifts, it's going to affect our emotions. It's affecting our emotions. Let's not say it could. It is affecting our emotions. Since 2019, we've really seen a bigger issue come out. Um, and I don't know if it's by trigger, instigating, but it is instigating. Why people think anarchy is a good thing? Why people think that there should be no government control? I don't understand it. A well propered society has boundaries and rules. We need to have boundaries and rules. And those people who don't want that usually are not the survivors. They're surviving in mass groups, not in a individual chaos. We've seen that on multiple times as well. All right, so let's get back. So with the polar shifting, with all of these multiple different types of poles, right? Could this be the reasons behind the following? A rise in cryptic evidence, a rise in paranormal activity, a rise in odd behaviors, a rise in UFOlogy, as we just pronounced, and maybe, just maybe, the very fact of what we've been talking about with the poles And how this is all is, maybe that is the very word. That is the very thing that we call the veil. Just saying. We could be right there. That the veil could be this very thing. And we are in our center core, like an atom. We are the center. We're the gaseous form. Because atoms are not solid. Einstein proved this in his first book, which is my road to understanding paranormal ghosts and spirits, etc., and entities. Uh, Atoms are a gaseous form, they are not a solid. Dun, dun, dun. And yet, we were taught that in school, weren't we? Majority of the people in school, in our times, they said that an atom was solid. An atom is not a solid atom. It is not solid material. It is a gaseous. Let us continue. So, getting into this part, into the parapsychology part, I wanted to chit chat about this. We got 10 more minutes left. Hey, we're doing pretty good today. Psychology seems today more and more are embracing the paranormal. Why? What? More and more embracing the paranormal. This is true. Dr. Clarion O'Keefe of Buckinghamshire New University. More are reaching out and or wanting to experiment or have experiences because more are looking for a reason why. Or is there a something greater or more people are wanting an experience or the truth? Or the truth. I think a lot of us, all we want is the truth. I think a lot of us already believe in the paranormal. A lot of us already believe in spirits and the ghosts. The Bible says, no, we should not, but maybe there's a reason why the Bible stated that. Maybe that's why we are not supposed to talk to the spirits, because not all of them are good. Look, we don't know anything about the paranormal. Let's be honest about that. We don't know how many different types of spirits. We don't know where they come from. We know about ghosts. I don't know how many type of ghosts. What are their abilities? As this veil thins and if this change takes place, I think we may find out why. But more and more people are wanting to know why. So this has been a study that's been going on since 2018. It's very interesting. 4 days ago, again, I said something about the whole fact of Congress admitting to it. It's very interesting into the way we are looking at it. I'm going to put this out there too. Let me get here. Voyager U.S. government now acknowledges of life of coming to the planet. Not just that, but coming to the planet, which is, are we drawing them again? Are we drawing them again? U.S. government now acknowledges. Why? Are about the experience of the planet change. Are we causing other life to be uncomfortable out in the universe? Are we? See, we're always thinking about how are we affected? How are we affecting what's out there? How? How are we affecting what's out there? The Orion effect. So it's interesting. Are we causing issues? Are we putting people, entities, and could there be other humans out there? Our technology direction we're going and our emotional state causing rifts out in the universe? Interesting. Oh, nope. Better. Yes. Monica, Elon's pushing the idea hasn't helped. No, it hasn't. And in fact, it's kind of scary as poop. Too much AI could be harmful for the human society. And I think pre-existing this world on which humans exist now, we may be the 13th tribe from somewhere else that has already repeated, and now we're about to repeat the same mistakes that we did before. I think this is not a good thing. A lot of this is for self-indulgent. These personal robots, why? Makes us lazier, here and physically lazier. It encourages behaviors that are unbecoming of a human. Ooh, I like that. Gail, the truth comes from your own discernment of things you learn. Just my thought. And I would agree with you on that one. That's a good point. I like that point of view. It is true. That brings us up. Why are we're growing in technology? But look at the direct energy weapon. Could these tests be the result of wildfires of Canada and Maui? Why are we doing it to ourselves? But now, maybe they fired these weapons. I'm throwing it out there as a theory. No proof. As a theory, except for witnesses. Maybe, maybe the fact that they want to level some of this forestry is to regrowth. Okay. Some have also have said that they use these weapons to clear the land to increase prosperity. They want humans to go to a city. They want us all in one place, not all spread out all over the world. We've heard this theory too. It's very interesting. That's why I brought up the DEW, the DEW, direct energy weapon. This is a future thing. It's also protection, but it's not new. It's not new. It's not new. Oompa loompa oompa dee doo. We've got news just for you. It happened 30 years ago on this time. President Ronald Reagan installed Star Wars game. Dun dun dun. So, DEWs are not new. They've probably already been installed, but military tends to have technology 20 to 30 years ahead of what's in society. The majority of what we have in society today comes from the military. Same thing with majority of what we have today is all paranormal equipment. How many knew that? Electricity, regular phones, cell phones, different items that you use throughout the day. They were all experimental products of yet or spiritual and the paranormal. Of course, a lot of the paranormal spirituals grown from, vice versa. Interesting thought. So here we are. Let's keep moving. Keep moving. We got 3 minutes left. Psychology news and trends. In 2023, we have seen an increase in psychological help through the human species. This is fact. People have reached out more in 2023 with a 64.5% in increase than years before. Why is this? See how this is all linking together today? Are they accepting that they have issues and actually now wanting to find help and resolve before? Are we lacking the ability to resolve our own mental and physical issues? Has society made us so bland and numb that we have failed to understand and try to cope with our own resolutions? Many of us in the paranormal and spiritual, supernatural, understand terminologies such as shadow work, self reflection, mirroring. We're having to reach into self to heal self, to rip out the roots. But in general society, it's the reverse. More people are going to other people that supposedly have a degree, and these people that have a degree got into it because they had a problem to begin with and they wanted to find their problem. And now they think they found their problem and now they can help others. That's how this works. Have we lost the ability to resolve issues in our own and all walks of life? The Department of Psychological Studies has said they have been studying the effects of 2019 to now. It's not good. Anxiety outbursts, frustrations, depressions has risen 32.6% since 2019. Why? Why the rise when more people are seeking help? Seeking help. Seeking help. Why the rise? Why the rise? While people of other cultures, paranormal, etc., are actually embracing. Where's the change? Do you see how this all kind of linked up to this morning? It all linked up a little bit in its own way. There's a little bit of pros and cons, a little conflict, but that's what this show's about. Encouraging your thought, getting you involved, talking with me and talking with your fellow travelers. You all traveling and communicating together. We're on this journey. While I can provide news, subjects, and ideas. That's the premise of this show. I know it's going to continue. I cannot thank you all enough for taking your time with me this morning and drinking your cup of coffee, tea, or brew, just like you. This has been really great. This has been fun. It's been releasing, and I think this is something we're going to continue. Um, I want to say to all of you travelers that I hope you have a most magnificent day, that I hope all things will come to you, and let's share exactly what we were talking about. Let's be those people, okay? Let's be those people who make the change because the change needs to come. We can do that. We just need to grow a little bit more, expand out more. So, travelers and those like, help another traveler out, help them rise, help them feel better about themselves, help other societies smile, shake a hand, and give a fist bump, whatever you got to do. Share the love. And until then, may virtue be yours. Have a great day, travelers and those alike. We'll see you on the other side.